All right, folks, look. I don't like the word hate, but this is the reason why I truly hate this matchup between Canelo Alvarez versus Bud Crawford. Because I feel like it releases them from their true responsibilities. It's getting them off the hook on what they're really supposed to be doing, right? We all know that we want Canelo Alvarez to face David Benavidez or get his get back with Dimitri Bivol. But with this Bud Crawford fight, if you present Bud Crawford, you present him the money in the bag, then he has an excuse to say, well, look at all the money I'm about to make with Bud Crawford. Like what you expect? And then the fan gonna have to understand, well, you know what I'm saying? It's too much money to deny. Then with Bud Crawford, we saw him, how he performed in 154-pound division with Madrimov, right? And we know in the sport of boxing, if you're a true hardcore boxing fan, you understand that the 154-pound division is the most stacked and more competitive division in the sport of boxing right now. Especially we saw what Kiefer Tom Thurman did earlier today in Australia, which adds another name to the mix, right? We see what Virgil Ortiz did to Madrimov. So then a realistic big fight in 154-pound division for Bud Crawford would be the likes of Bud Crawford versus Virgil Ortiz, which is still a great fight, which moves the needle, which moves boxing going forward. This, with Canelo Alvarez and Bud Crawford, is a cash-out fight, is a retirement fight. It's like a finale fight. You know what I'm saying? It releases them from their responsibility. Bud Crawford, how great as he is, did not look great. So when the kitchen got hot, he's getting an opportunity with Canelo Alvarez, you know, people are going to be like, yo, but he's daring to be great. You know he's not in it to dare to be great. He's in it to cash out. We all know that. The momentum of Bud Crawford going to fight Canelo Alvarez after the Madrimov fight, come on, doesn't even make sense. You know what I'm saying? In my opinion, it shrinks the sport. It has nothing to do with hate. It has something to do with, I believe that Bud Crawford is Hall of Fame, first ballot. Hall of Fame, great accomplishment, first ballot. But I do believe as a future Hall of Famer, he has a third tier resume, which still needs an enhancement. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like in the 154-pound division with the likes of Fundura, with the likes of Jamel Charlo. Jamel Charlo say he's going to be going back to the 154-pound division. You know, the likes of a fight with Virgil Ortiz. The likes of, let's say, for example, Kiefer Tom Thurman that's due probably to fight Tim Tszyu in July and beats Tim Tszyu. Guess what? Then you got that fight that a lot of people been wanting for years in Thurman and Bud Crawford in 154-pound division. I think that's the division right there for Bud Crawford, that he could really enhance his legacy and stuff like that, because it's the most competitive division in the sport of boxing right now, which we've seen a lot of people, almost all the top guys in the 154-pound division go through adversity, overcome adversity, but nobody is highly competitive. And shout out to Jamel Charlo becoming undisputed in that same division. The Bowachucks of the world and stuff like that, the Madrimov of the world. I don't know how to pronounce the guy's name that beat Tim Tszyu. Like, it's a very, very great division in which is good for Bud Crawford to enhance his legacy organically. So that's the reason. It gives an out. It releases these guys from their responsibilities. We don't need that fight. Boxing is great without that fight. Without a Bud Crawford and Canelo Alvarez, that's a circus. If we got to be honest with ourselves, let's be real. If you're going to criticize Canelo Alvarez for fighting a guy like an undisputed 154-pound champion in Jamel Charlo, and seeing the Iron Man that is a knockout artist, right? And performed the way that he performed versus Canelo Alvarez because he was moved up 2 divisions up. He's bigger than Bud Crawford. Then there's going to be people out there that's going to discredit Jamel Charlo to say, well, Bud Crawford's not Jamel Charlo. Yeah, Jamel Charlo ain't Bud Crawford and stuff like that. That's a 50-50 fight. What you talking about? In the 154-pound division. Let's not forget that when Bud Crawford put hands on Earl the True Spence right after the fight, he's looking at Jamel Charlo for undisputed versus undisputed. That was realistic right there. All I'm saying is there's so many great fights to be made for Bud Crawford. There's so many great fights to be made by Canelo Alvarez. And this fight with Bud and Canelo, it gives them an out. It releases them from their responsibilities. it's almost like, whoo, man, the kitchen got hot, man. I had to go. A lot of people ain't putting pressure on the Canelo Alvarez no more to fight David Benavidez because he got a big money fight lined up for him to fight Bud Crawford. And then we get a whack fight of Canelo Alvarez fighting William Skull just so he could get this strap in which Turki Alalshikh said they moving on for one belt. But now the belts do matter for him to get the belt versus William Skull and Cinco de Mayo just to fight Bud Crawford. And then we got Bud Crawford being inactive because they trying to ice him out. Not ice him out, but trying to ice him until the Canelo Alvarez fight. What does that do for the sport of boxing? What does that do for the sport of boxing? For this fantasy fight. We don't need that fight. They don't need that fight. They robbing the bank. Turki Alalshikh is giving them the money because that's his fantasy fight. Something that he wants to do. Let me know what y'all think, man. I know hate is a bad word, but it is what it is, man. I don't know how else to describe it. It pitches a nerve because I could see still a sold out crowd with a Virgil and a Bud. You know what I'm saying? I can still see a sellout crowd. I can see big fights that mean something. You know what I'm saying? And if Turkey had all that money to make things happen, he should be making David Benavidez versus Canelo Alvarez. And he should be making the fight with Virgil Ortiz and Bud Crawford, like he said after the Matt Jamal fight, because he understood really the reality of it, that he ain't ready for no damn Canelo Alvarez. Come on, man. That's a trashy mismatch. And everybody with a boxing eye knows it. And the people that don't want to admit it is because they're just happy that Bud Crawford is getting a high payday or Canelo Alvarez is getting a high payday. It gives them an out. It gives their fanboys a reason to be like, yo, but that's a money fight, you know what I'm saying? Who's going to turn down $70, $100 million? I don't know, folks. That's not being a hater. I just feel like it's not necessary. We don't need to shrink our sport. Like if Bud Crawford don't got a lot of competition in a 154-pound division. Let me know what y'all think, man. Subscribe to the channel, smash the like button. Love you, God bless, and on to the next.